Every first-time cruiser asks the same question before they book. Do I need a balcony? And almost everyone I talk to assumes the answer is obvious. Splurge. You'll regret it if you don't. I've sailed a lot of cruises, and I've never once paid for a balcony. Not once. And I don't feel like I missed a thing. Here's what I know, and what most people booking their first cruise don't. Let's start with the money, because this is where most people make the mistake. On a standard 7-night cruise, a balcony cabin costs on average $450 more than an interior per person. For a couple, that's $900 before you've stepped foot on the ship. And on some sailings, Royal Caribbean, peak season, that gap is much wider. We're talking $800, $1,000 more. Now ask yourself what that money actually buys you. A private square of outdoor space, 2 chairs, a small table, and a view you can also get for free by walking to the top deck. That $900 is not buying you the view. It's buying you the view from one specific spot, your cabin. Most cruisers are in their cabin for one reason: sleep. Here's what experienced cruisers know about interior cabins that first-timers don't: the darkness. There is no dark like the dark of an interior cabin. No sunrise creeping through the curtains at 5 in the morning. No light from the harbour when you're docked overnight. Total blackout. On a balcony cabin, you're constantly managing the curtains. In an interior, the room is on your terms. And here's something nobody puts in the brochure. There is so much to do on a modern cruise ship that you almost never need to be in your cabin. That's the whole point. Restaurants, bars, pools, shows, deck chairs with nothing but open ocean ahead of you. I've sailed Royal Caribbean ships where I barely returned to my cabin except to sleep. And I slept beautifully. Speaking of Royal Caribbean, they've built something into their interior cabins that changes the conversation entirely. It's called the virtual balcony, an 80-inch floor-to-ceiling screen in select interior cabins, streaming a live feed from outside the ship, day and night, port arrivals, open ocean, sunsets. I've been in those cabins, and I'll be honest, it's not nothing. It genuinely works. Not a replacement for a real balcony, but in an interior cabin. It changes the feel of the room. So you've saved $900. You're sleeping better than anyone on the ship, and you haven't missed the view. Not once. But here's where it gets interesting. Because the balcony isn't just overpriced. Sometimes it's not even what you think you're getting. I've stood on a balcony and stared directly at a lifeboat. Bright orange. Eye level. That's the view. This is called an obstructed view cabin. And it is more common than the cruise lines want you to know. On most ships, decks 5 through 8 are the lifeboat decks. Every balcony cabin on those levels risks an obstruction. Some are partial, some are complete. And here's the thing, many first-time cruisers book a balcony guarantee. That means the cruise line assigns your cabin. You have no say in where it lands. You could spend hundreds extra for a balcony and spend your cruise staring at safety equipment. Now, compare that to the interior cabin across the hall. Cheaper, no windows, no lifeboats, no surprises. Sleep like a rock. If you've booked a balcony and ended up with a lifeboat, I want to hear about it. Drop it in the comments, because it happens more than it should. Here's where I'll give the balcony its due, because there is one situation where the upgrade makes sense. The itinerary changes everything. A Caribbean cruise, port heavy, days ashore, beach days, the ship is almost secondary. Interior, every time. But Alaska, Norway, the fjords. The scenery is the cruise. It's happening on both sides of the ship, all day, sometimes all night. The public deck fills fast, and you can't be there for all of it. On a scenic itinerary, a balcony is a private viewing platform that nobody else can crowd into. That changes the value completely. My rule is simple. If the scenery is the reason you're on the ship, and it's happening while you're sailing, the balcony earns its cost. If you're sailing to beaches and ports, save your money. And even then, make sure you check which deck your balcony is on before you book, because the fjords look different through a lifeboat. So here's how I think about it, and this is the rule I give anyone who asks me before they book. Start with interior, every time. If the balcony is the same price as interior or close to it, take the balcony. That gap disappears sometimes. When it does, grab it. If the gap is real, $400, $500, $600 a person or more, ask yourself one question. Is the scenery the cruise itself, or is the cruise the destination? If it's the destination, you don't need a balcony. You need a good night's sleep and money left for the things that matter. The $900 most couples spend upgrading to a balcony on a Caribbean cruise would cover 2 full-day private excursions in every single port. Think about that. The balcony is the best marketed cabin on the ship. That doesn't make it the best value. Your cabin is for sleeping. The ship is for living. Have you ever paid for a balcony and barely used it, or stayed in an interior and not missed it at all? Drop your honest answer below. I want to know which side you're on.